What's up, everybody? It's the One Successful Failure podcast. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's the One Successful Failure podcast, and you already know I'm your host. My name is Trip. You're rocking with your girl, ThatDamn Trip, on all social media, and you are now back on the pod. Good to have you back, man. Welcome to see you back into the pod. Today, in this episode, I guess it's going to be probably more personal. Well, I know you're probably saying, Trip, which one of these ain't personal, but this is something that of course I talked about. If you watch the intro, if you watch any of these things, a lot of these episodes are about personal failures or successes that I'm going through myself or have gone through, or I've watched somebody go through. Nah, I ain't snitching. Ain't none of that. I'm not telling somebody else's story, but it's something that has related to something I'm going through, something I'm dealing with in my life. And I think that by sharing these, letting you know that I've failed at all. I've failed at a whole bunch of things, but letting you know that if I can fail and still have some of the successes that I've had, not to humble brag, but your girl done did some shit. If I can still do that, if I can still live my life by design, no, I'm not a millionaire, not one of those big, but in design, I am. I work when I want. I get to spend time here recording with you all, tapping into the community, growing a community on my time, at my leisure. I'm able to travel. I'm able to do certain things. I enjoy some of the great luxuries in life, and I don't have to stress about it. So those are successes all in itself. And by doing some of the failures, by getting fired, by marrying the cheaters, by going through the ups and downs in life that I've gone through and sharing them with you all, hopefully you won't have to go through the shit that I've had to go through. Hopefully your successes are a lot more smooth. And so today, when I say I'm talking about something personal, this is something personal. This is something that happened in my real life, not like a story. No, this isn't story time. This isn't, a continuation of something else. This is a continuation of, I guess, the process. Some of you all call it the journey that I have been going through for the past 2-3 years, a rediscoveration, rediscovering, reinventing, relearning, and unlearning of myself, of what life really is, what's really important, putting things into perspective. My shit's changed. If you know, you know. IYKM, whatever y'all kids say, if you know, you know. And, if you know that I've been going through life and going through this process and going through this journey, you'll know that I've been sharing with you all some of the things I've been learning. Like I told you, you can learn a lot from a dummy. That was one of the episodes, and that was something I was tapping into or learning from the very beginning of this new journey that I've been embarking upon. That's what I said. I've failed a lot, so you can learn a lot from a dummy. That's why you people that tap into this podcast, that come in and listen to my stories, that's why you're important to me. You can call me a dummy for the shit that I've done. I don't care. But if you stay through and watch it and check out every episode, then you won't make the same mistakes that I've made. So therefore, it's true. You can learn a lot from a dummy. And in this journey, I've been recognizing things that maybe my therapists are telling me or my friends are telling me, but I'm not getting it. Like recently, I've been trying to figure out why, if I'm going through this healing journey or this relearning, unlearning journey, it seems like every time, and that's why I say I don't like the word journey, but it seems like every time I get to a point, or every time I feel like I'm supposed to wake up and my heart is open, or I'm supposed to wake up and it's not hard anymore, or I'm supposed to wake up and just look in my bank account and see the money that I put the work in for. Every time I wake up and that shit don't happen, I start to feel like, well, damn, I've failed in this rediscovery. Damn, man, there's something I must be doing wrong, because in my prior situationships, job ships, work ships, business ships, whatever fucking ships I've been sailing on, it always had to be who did it, who was responsible for it, or what steps did you take or miss for this thing. So I'm used to when things don't go right, or when I don't see the progress that I think that I'm supposed to see, I look for something in myself to blame. I look for something that I must have done. I look for the karma in the situation. I look for like, what the fuck? So my friends are constantly telling me, you need to give yourself some grace. And if you've watched any of the pods, if you watched any of the lives, I'm hard on grace. Cause I don't, grace is one of them tricky things. I feel like if I give myself grace or allow myself to lie to myself, then I got to give everybody else grace. I got to let every other motherfucker tell me a lie and I be okay with it. Cause if I give grace to them, I got to give grace to myself. If I don't give grace to myself, then I grace is something that I struggle with because I don't want to lie to myself anymore. I don't want to disappoint myself anymore. I don't want to put myself in shitty situations. So if I do those, why should I give myself grace? It would make me do them again. And that's what I struggle with in the process. But my friends say, hey, man, you're doing great. Give yourself some grace. Chill a little bit. Well, this is where the personal in this pod comes in. And like I said, this is the One Successful Failure podcast. Y'all know where y'all are. I'm about to tell you about a success and a failure or something, or a fuck up in the middle of the process. But man, it made me realize something so powerful. If you're from where I'm from or live in the city, now I'm not from here, but I guess I've been here long enough. I live in Houston, and there's this particular street. And I've been going down the street for years. When I was young, I used to go party on the street. Everybody did. We drove and hung out on Fridays. It was popping. It was the street to be on. Back in the day, it was safe to cruise. You pull up, you pop out here. They had the slabs on Sundays, and we didn't go on MLK. You wanted to cruise down Richmond. It was just the place to be. Later on in the middle of my life, that's where I met my little shawty at, and she lived on that side of town. And so, I had my hot ass on Richmond going, speeding to go see shawty. I'm 15 minutes away, hadn't even left, that type of shit. But however, whatever, I always rode down Richmond. And if you're from Houston, Richmond Ave all the way on the dark end. I guess from all of our cruising in life, from all the times that I've enjoyed on Richmond in life, Richmond kind of got a little fucked up. First of all, the neighborhood got bad, then the streets got bad. And you could drive your car down Richmond, but you couldn't drive fast because it has some potholes on Richmond that would tear your shit up. Like Richmond had gotten to be a bad area and a bad street. And so if you could avoid it, you avoid it. But there was a lot of reasons why I couldn't avoid it. I told you I had a shawty. I used to do business down there. The strip clubs was down there. So for a good portion of my life when I was when I was in the streets, take that back. I can't admit that I was for the streets. I was in a committed relationship in them streets, but whatever. When I used to be on those in the streets, on that side of the street, I just learned where the potholes were. I learned the good ones from the bad ones. I learned how I could tilt my wheel one way and not hit it as bad. I learned to either dodge the potholes or work around the potholes. So I never really kind of cared how bad Richmond was. I knew I could maneuver through the potholes. And then fast forward, me and Shawty been together for a minute. We moved to a different area of town, but I had to work over there. I got out them streets. I wasn't for the streets anymore. I was working, but part of my job took me over in the Richmond area. That's what we called it here in Houston, the Richmond area. So I had to take those streets again. I thought I was away from those streets because I was out of the streets. But something in the universe, something in the world, something in Houston took me back over there. So again, different end of Richmond, but still shitty streets, potholes, big water covers that if you hit them, they could tear up your oil pan, like for real. And I wasn't always this sober sister that I am now. There was some nights that I might have had a few drinks and would be riding up and down Richmond. But because I had been going up and down that street so long, so long in my life, young life, midlife, getting to my older life, I had it memorized. Even drinking, I knew how to maneuver on that street. I knew how to maybe not dodge the potholes, but I knew how to maneuver through to where they didn't hurt as bad. But I would always be driving that street and be like, God damn, Richmond know they wrong for these motherfucking potholes, man. They need to fix this shit. But I think they do this because they don't want niggas driving through here. They don't want us and the Mexicans cruising like we used to. I think they don't fix this street because they just don't want us to ride on it. That's the type of shit I used to say. I would dodge them. I would maneuver through them, but I would always complain like, damn, Why won't they just fix these potholes, man? We pay taxpayers money and shit. I need to be protesting all the things we say we not gonna do because I'm still riding down that street. But as I'm riding down the street, I'm still complaining. Why don't they fix the potholes? But I've learned to dodge them. I've learned to maneuver them. I've learned to where they don't hurt as bad. It's all good and cool. I'm still riding down Richmond. There's 50 million other streets I can take, but I'm still riding down Richmond, but I'm complaining. Understand where I'm going with this? So recently, I hadn't been on Richmond for a minute because I stopped working on that end. If y'all know anything about my life, you know I sure ain't fucking with Shawty no more. So there's really, and I told you we cruised when we was young. I ain't young anymore, and that's a bad end of Richmond. So we don't cruise. There's not a lot of reasons for me to go down there as much. But recently, something took me down there. I started going down there, and one night it was dark, and I'm riding down this one part of Richmond. And since I hadn't been there, I forgot about the potholes and all that. And I see these construction signs, these construction cones and lights pointing me this way, saying it's going down to one lane. And when we dip to one lane, dip in the street, and all you hear is gravel, pop, 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 hitting all on the side of the car. And they have completely stripped the top layer of Richmond. I guess I'm riding down this motherfucker and I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So I try to go slower and it makes the gravel seem to hit a little harder. So I try to go a little faster and it seems to make the gravel get higher and more of it. And I can't really see, it's dark. So I get through and I was like, oh, that shit is crazy. Dang. I mean, if they gonna fix Richmond, I mean, why they had to fix it like that? Why? Damn, you tear your car up trying to go through that. But that was it. That's all I said. I complained a little bit, but I kept it pushing. Well, just fast forward a few more nights. I'm going down that street. I'm dealing with the gravel. And one night I had a bad night on that end of the street. So as I'm driving through it now, I'm not in the mood for these rocks and shit to be hitting my car, whether fast or slow. It's kind of winter here in Houston, so it's already dim and dark and kind of foggy. So when I speed up, the gravel gets higher and it makes it dusty and foggy. I'm already pissed, and now I'm pissed and can't see. I can't see. It's tearing up the bottom of my car. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. If they was going to fix it and it was going to be like this, they might as well just left the motherfucking potholes. I said if they were going to fix it, and if I knew it was going to be like this, my crazy ass said they might as well just left the motherfucking potholes. The same potholes I was complaining about for 15, 20 years. The same potholes that I said will tear your entire car up, will bust out all your tires. I used to have a low rider. I was replacing tires every other week. That's another reason why I stopped going on Richmond, was the potholes. The same potholes that would just have the asphalt getting hot on a 105-degree Houston day. So you drive down the street, you just got a car wash, you step out and you got all this black shit that then sprayed up on the side of your car from the potholes melting. The same potholes, that I realized I had learned to maneuver around so they didn't hurt as bad. Damn, the same potholes that I learned which ones I could dodge by going this way, and even if I was drunk I could swerve that way and still avoid them. The same potholes that I start playing a game with. Well, I'll be down. It made me think about what I'm going through in life right now and some of the mentality that I have, and I know that some of y'all niggas have, because if y'all didn't, y'all wouldn't be listening to me. But check it. I complained about the potholes. I said I didn't like the potholes. I complained about how all my old cars, my new cars, my future cars, I was going to avoid Richmond because of fucking potholes. But I also said I learned to maneuver through them. How many things in life are we still fucking with that hurts? How many things in life are we still fucking with that we complain about? How many things in this journey we think we want something different? I told you that night that I had realized I went back on Richmond and they were doing exactly what I had asked and prayed for. They were fixing it. There was no more potholes. But I guess I expected them to fix it all in one day. I expected them to have it smooth. I expected them to do it the way I wanted it done. Shit, that sound like my life. I was missing the part of the journey where they had stripped the potholes away. The same potholes I was complaining about. I had realized that I'm going through some shit in my life and I want to get to a other side. I might want to find love again, but until then, I just want to shake this old shit off. I want to be completely done with that old version of love, that old version of me. I want to get a new car, but I need to learn to stop taking the streets in my old car that's got the fucking potholes and the asphalt splashing up. Why would I be able to get luxury if I'm not even treating what I have right now as luxurious as it is? I say I want to get to the other side of the situation that I'm in, but I get pissed off when my life strips the top layer and takes the potholes away. I have the nerve to say, well, they should have just left the motherfucking potholes. Well, I guess I should have just left Tramposa in my life too. I guess I should have just stayed at that job where I was getting verbally and mentally and sometimes physically abused. I guess you should have too. I guess you should just stay with that baby daddy, that pothole, pothead, pothole, whatever, that you've learned to maneuver around. You've learned what to say and what not to say so that his reaction doesn't hurt as bad. That raggedy ass girlfriend or best friend that you've got, you've learned that pothole. You've learned what to do around her, what man to bring around her, what chick to bring around her, and which ones not to avoid that hoe from being a hoe and tearing your shit up. Instead of just stripping that layer away, and yeah, it'll get ugly. I thought the ugliness was the loneliness that I experienced. I thought the ugliness was the loss of the friends. Those were potholes. And I've been begging the universe to fix my life, fix my route, fix my journey, and it was doing it. And I was complaining about how I'm not seeing any progress and how this hurts too. Man, I'm taking Richmond almost every day now. And I'm taking that same raggedy part. And no, I'm not trying to learn and maneuver how to get through the gravel to where it doesn't splash up as high. And no, I'm still speeding on that bitch, allegedly, to where the dust still is coming up and the rocks are still hitting. But I'm like, man, at least it's rocks and not fucking potholes. And I know that if I can make it through the potholes and these rocks, man, whatever they about to put on Richmond is about to be live. And since it's going to be a new street, I might as well get a new car and ride it. I might as well ride it with new love in my life. Now that all the old shit is gone, and I know that the potholes and the gravel and the down the one lane and the traffic on that street, it can't hurt anymore because it's done. It's fresh and new. But I had the nerve, you have the nerve, we have the nerve sometime on this journey, on this life ship, situation ship, this shit that we're trying to get through, sail on this cruise to the other island. We got the nerve to complain about how choppy the waters are. You own a motherfucking cruise. What you think? It's going to get choppy. Chopper style, chop. That's a Houston thing. I'm sorry. Okay, get back serious. But for real, it wasn't until I said out loud, damn, they should have just left the potholes, that I would just want to just slap myself. We need to stop settling for the potholes. We need to stop learning to maneuver through them. Let it hurt. That way, maybe you'll stop going down that street. Either they'll fix them or you'll fix your route. Let it tear up the oil pan. Maybe that's exactly what you needed to let that raggedy ass car go and stretch yourself. Let the Lord stretch you. Let the universe stretch you. Hell, let your baby mama stretch you into the potential that you have to not only get yourself a new car, but get yourself a new route, a new job, a new situation. But if you are going to learn to maneuver it until they fix it, when they start to fix it, don't complain about how it gets fixed. It's like I said on one of these lives the other day, I watched this young lady. Her name is Jadina. And she said, you know, we're in a spot that we pray to get out of, and we pray to be this new person. Just pop up and be this new person. And by doing that and not understanding that you're someone in between, we kind of disrespect the present person that we are. We kind of disrespect that gravel. If the potholes were there, we would never see the gravel pop up. We would never be able to test our eyes and see that we can see through the dust. We would never know that, man, I don't like my car having all these scratches and scrapes. So now I'm gonna do something better. We should respect the present. And by respecting the present, you gotta say, oh shit, that the universe is doing exactly what I asked. Matter of fact, I'm doing exactly what I asked. I said I was gonna get out of this relationship and did. I said I was gonna get a new job and is. I said I was gonna do all of those things and I'm working towards that. Yeah, something else happened along the way. My car that I'm trying to make it to the new car, it got fucked up along the way, but you got it fixed. You had the means, or you had the drive, or the hustle, or the resources. Honor that. Don't say, well, God, woo, I'll be so glad when I get this new car, I won't be dealing with this. But you are. So honor that you are strong enough to deal with it. Because some people ain't. That shit'll break some people. Let their car break. Let them have to bust it for a week or come up with it for a week. Let them have to drive through that gravel to get to that new road. Man, it'll keep some of the things that we go through, some of the failures that I've had, and I know they may be small to some of y'all, but some of the failures that I've experienced in life would break the average person. And that's why I'm learning to not dodge them fucking potholes. I want to feel it so that when I don't feel it anymore, I can tell people, man, I'm glad you never had to feel what that felt like. You think this is bad. This is smooth. This is just a little gravel. I'm getting back to me, and I didn't realize that I was. I thought I was looking for this new person. I thought I was trying to wake up and see something different, and I was disrespecting the present me. I was tired of those potholes. I was powerful enough to say it. The universe heard it. It changed. And then I was ungrateful in the process. That doesn't make me a bad person. That just shows me I still got so much more to do before I be that new person. Because why would I want to be that new person that we're talking about being with some of these same shitty mentalities? Mad at the gravel, but praying away the potholes. Nigga, the disrespect. Don't disrespect yourself anymore. Enjoy the process. Figure out what this new process is. Figure out what that gravel is. It may hurt. It may be fucking up the bottom of your car, but at least it's not the potholes. If that baby daddy ain't doing what he's supposed to do, ditch that pothole, go to the street with the gravel. It may not be smooth, but you'll see what a pothole feels like as opposed to the gravel. And you'll be like, this is doable for a minute. But when I get my new car, my new me, my new swag, my new self-confidence, when I get all that together, this ain't even going to be tolerable anymore. Enjoy the gravel right now. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the present. Fuck them potholes. And don't let your mind play tricks on you into going back, spinning the block, or still accepting what you accepting. Because I had the nerve to say out loud, damn, I wish they just would have left the potholes. The disrespect to myself and to my universe and to my God that's blessed me with the progress that I wasn't even trying to see. This week, next week, right now, in the journey that you're in the middle of, the new job, the new career, the new life, the new love, the new kids, the new you, fuck, the new lace front, the new whatever, the new hobby, the new routine, what pothole is that going to shake off? Know that the journey is going to be rough. You might start working out and be sore. It's better than being fat. No disrespect to my big people. No disrespect, but most people get to working out because they get to a point in their life where they're not happy with how they feel. They're calling themselves fat, unhealthy, whatever. If you are sore and that's your goal, is to not be big, unhealthy, whatever anymore, then thank God that ain't that. Embrace the sore. Invest in some Epsom salt. Do those things. Embrace the gravel, whatever your gravel may be. And don't disrespect the present. Enjoy it. Go slower or go faster in the gravel. The gravel might be there to slow you down and say, look at the scenery. See how things have changed. You might think you're going on the same street, but look, they remodeling the houses. They done put a new store up. See that it's already getting prettier along the way. Enjoy the journey. Y'all know it must be something going on powerful if I'm saying enjoying the journey, because Prior to this, that's a word that I said I don't like to use, but enjoy the motherfucking journey, because I was on a journey. I was going from here to there and complaining about the route, although it was giving me exactly what I was asking for, a new road on an old route. It's the One Successful Failure podcast, y'all. And, I guess we're talking about, if you have not gotten to that new road, enjoy the new view on the old road on the way to the new route. Enjoy the process, respect the now, and look at how much you've come, and enjoy that. Be grateful for that, but still want more. It's the One Successful Failure podcast show, and I am your host. You're rocking with your girl, Trip. Thank you for tuning in, tapping in. And the same thing we're going to tell you. Meet us in those goddamn comments, man. I'm going to be there. It's ThatDamn Trip, One Successful Failure on all social media. Meet us in them goddamn comments. I'm going to be there. I promise.